Hello and welcome to this talk. I just love that we have this shared vision, this shared mission to create this world that we know is possible. We feel that calling in our hearts, and I just want to acknowledge you for showing up for this and being part of this movement. It's something that I know we have this deep calling within us, and I want to acknowledge, that the expression of that is going to be different for all of us. For some of us, it might be we go and create, a multi-million-dollar business and have a global reach that impacts millions of people. It might be that you work more close to home and that you're a real active part of your community. It may be that you're doing the inner work on yourself or your family. And it may be that you are working on some health stuff of your own that's really contributing to the shifts in a global way, in a collective way. I want to acknowledge that because I think sometimes we have this feeling that, if we're not doing these really big things, then we're not contributing in powerful ways. But the beautiful thing about being part of this community is that every one of us makes a difference, and every one of us is adding to that movement, that elevating of the consciousness of the whole planet by all of the little things that you do every day, from taking mindful moments to sharing a smile with a stranger, to supporting your friends and family, and the bigger things that we do. And sometimes, if we're a really low ebb, it can be as simple as holding the vision, or just knowing that there are people in our communities who are working towards this transformation that we know is possible for our world. So even if all you can do is hold that vision in faith that it is possible, then that is enough on that day. So thank you again for joining me today. I really would love to share with you some tools and techniques to help you to unlock your unshakable belief in your business for sustained momentum. So what do I mean by that? I think sometimes it doesn't matter how long you've been in business, whether it's you've just started or you've been doing this for a number of years. I think there's sometimes this, we can get frustrated by the progress that we're making or not making. And there's definitely highs and lows in business. In life, we're not always going to be, on this amazing feeling of success all the time, because then that just becomes our new normal anyway. So I'd like us to acknowledge that there are ebbs and flows, and that is completely normal. And how to connect, no matter what is happening, how to connect with your unshakable belief, no matter what is going on the outside, whether you've had this like amazing wins or things are feeling a bit more, you're going more into yourself and you're feeling a little bit less motivated, or you feel like you need to rest or replenish. So no matter what's going on, I'm going to give you this wonderful tool to help you to connect with that using metaphor. So before I begin, I'd love to introduce myself. I'm Sarah and I run Healing Business. It's a community for healers, coaches, therapists, wellness practitioners to come together and help each other with business strategy, marketing strategy, all of that practical, how to create a business that aligns with your big dreams, your big goals of, having those results for yourself and serving your communities. And I also love working on the inner planes. I'm an EFT therapist. I love working with energy and imagination, and helping people to really get out of that logical mind to unlock these new spaces within you to get information, whether that's through your body, whether that's through your imagination, your intuition. So there's a real kind of blend of practical stuff and the inner work, so that your head and your heart are always working in alignment together, and that really just reduces the amount of tension that you have so that you can enjoy your work, you can enjoy creating your business. It feels energizing for you. You have less, this protection around it. It feels much more expansive and free flowing. So that's me, that's what I do. So today on this talk, I'm going to help you to connect with your self-belief using metaphor. We're going to tune into that picture or story for you and shift and transform it to help it to become even more empowering for you, and then help you to take those practical steps in the real world, in the external world, because it's great getting this information, but then it's about what you do with it and how you move that forward, how you take that into your life today. So what is a metaphor? So it's like a figure of speech or a picture or phrase or symbol of something that might be represented or symbolic of something else. So for example, if you tune into how you're feeling about your business at the moment or how things are going, there might be some metaphors like I'm at a crossroads, or I feel like my business is in first gear, or my creative juices are flowing. It might feel like you're pushing water uphill, or you're riding a good wave at the moment. All of those things are metaphors. You're not literally riding a wave unless you're surfing. It's just a way to describe in a turn of phrase how things are going. And I found this in my coaching practice to be a really useful way of getting answers that are from your subconscious. They're from your deep inner knowing. So it's a way to access information that might not be logically available to you in other ways. So in this space, feel free to be curious, be playful, feel free to daydream about this and activate your imagination and just be curious about what comes up. And I've got a guide to help you. So if you go to healingbusiness.co.uk/belief, you can download a free guide, and it takes you through all of the coaching questions to help you with this as well. So definitely go and download that guide today. So if you tune into your business right now, if you tune into how much belief that you have around it becoming a success, no matter what things are going on around you, like in the outside world of wins or frustrations, just tune in simply and connect with where your belief is at the moment. Now, I like to think of this as like a faith-ometer. So if you had like a fuel tank, your faith-ometer, is it like full up to the brim? Is it a bit wobbly? Does it depend on what's happening on the outside world? Does it depend on external factors? Does it depend on other people's opinions or things outside of your control? Or, is it quite low at the moment? Are you feeling disheartened or not really connected to your purpose or questioning lots of things? So simply tune in. If you had a faithometer now, what would your reading be? And that's just one example of a metaphor to describe it. And I want you to tune in again and see if the faithometer thing, if it resonates with you, if it doesn't, or if you have a different picture or metaphor in mind. So what is your self-belief like at the moment? And if you want, you can pause and or make a note and come back to this if you want more time. But just notice what pops up. It might be a thought, a feeling, a sensation, a picture, a sound. We all receive information in different ways. So, because I don't know what your metaphor is, I'm going to stick with the faithometer. But as I'm talking, you can use your metaphor and make it really personal, or you can use the faithometer. It's up to you. So if you tune into that metaphor, how does it make you feel right now? And where do you feel this in your body? And you might notice that the picture starts to change, or you might notice that you have an inspiration to change it in some way. So if we take the example of the fuel tank, is there anything that's draining your belief tank right now? What might those things be? And how might you dial up your faithometer or add more fuel to your self-belief? What are those things that really energize you and help you to feel like things are possible, that it is going to happen for you, that success is inevitable? What are those things that help you to, if your faithometer starts getting low, that really kind of fills up your cup? There's another metaphor. What is it that helps you to increase your self-belief? And how does that feel in your body? If you imagine feeling, your faith is, or your self-belief is dialed all the way up to the top, how do you feel in your body? What's different about your thoughts and feelings and sensations? What do you notice about that state? And how can you access that more often? And sometimes, if you're feeling like at a really low ebb, it's hard to imagine what 10 is like. If you're at a 2, it can be challenging to even imagine what that is like. So I'd like to encourage you to see how far you can get. Know that it is possible. What is like plus 10? Like, what would 20 be? Play around with this. But if that feels like too much of a stretch for you, or it feels like it starts putting you into feelings of protection, then please know that this is completely safe. It's just your imagination, and just be curious about that and go as far as you want to. This is your body, this is your imagination. You make the rules. So I want to give you a couple of examples of how you can use this. So it might be that you connect with this on a regular basis. You could time it around a particular date, like the first of the month. You could connect with it different lunar cycles, or your menstrual cycle if you have one. It might be that you just intuitively feel like, I need to connect right now. This is something that you can come back to again and again, and just be curious and notice how this metaphor changes. And it can really help you to keep going, because anytime that you feel like you're losing momentum, or you're feeling a lack of self-belief, or you're feeling a lack of faith, you can just come back to this metaphor and tune in and say, well, what do I need right now? What will fill up my tank? What will nudge that needle a bit further round to full? How would I like it to be? So in a practical way, how can you embody this state of self-belief more often? And what actions can you take to ensure that your self-belief stays at this higher level? It might be that you choose an affirmation. It might be that there are certain people that you connect with that always energize you. It might be a playlist on Spotify, or a dance. It might be a different thing on a different day, but having that bank of resources that you can go to help elevate your belief is so empowering. So have a think about what those next steps will be for you, how you would like to connect with this regularly, and how you can keep your self-belief tank topped up. So please do join me for the interactive workshop that I'm hosting as part of the summit. I'm going to help take some of you through this. We can pick different metaphors. We can, really play with this. I'd love to hear what comes up for you as well. So please do share. And if you do want that free guide with all of the coaching questions and the technique and an action plan, so you can, decide how you want to move forward with this, just go to healingbusiness.co.uk/belief, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you soon. Lots of love.